guys, welcome back to Baby Back Maniac. Today we are going to do a rib rub throwdown with the top 5 best-selling barbecue rib rubs on Amazon. Quick announcement before we get started, y'all. Baby Back Maniac t-shirts are available. They will be in the description box below if you want to check that out. If you get one, I'd love to see it. Please upload it on Instagram and tag me at Baby Back Maniac, hashtag Baby Back Maniac shirt. I would love to see it. Also, this video is sponsored by Lone Star Grills. We're using the Lone Star Grill offset today. I love that cooker. I love that company. I love being associated with them. Y'all go check out their website at lonestargrills.com and let's take a look at these rubs. So in order to be considered for this contest, they had to be in Amazon's best-selling barbecue rub list, and they also had to be intended for pork. For instance, this guy right here was somehow in the top 5. It is a buttery cinnamon roll rub that's supposed to go on coffee and desserts. It may be great on ribs, but that's not what the advertisement or the bottle says it's for. So that guy got bumped out of the way, and that made room for this guy, which is Cosmo's cow cover. Now, you're like, why would you put a beef rub in this contest? Well, it's because Cosmo specifically in his advertisement said that this is good on pork and salmon and a lot of other things. So that qualifies. So the top 5 that we were left with, at least at the point where I purchased these, was Bad Byron's butt rub, special for the purposes of the kids that watch and the YouTube censor, special ship rub, and I gotta tell you, the ship don't stink. This is the AP rub by Killer Hogs. This is Walker's Wood jerk seasoning. That's gonna stand out. That's gonna, you know, spicy's fun. That's cool. And then of course, Cosmo's cow cover. Now, I purchased all these with my own money. Nobody sent me anything, but if you're looking for like double-blind scientific comparison from multiple people through 3 stages of research to get this right, you're probably taking this video a little too seriously, but this will be fun. I can't wait to try them. I'll have the links for all these in the description box below if you want to check them out yourself. And let's get our ship in a pile and get going. All right, guys, we are at the 3.5 hour mark. I wanted to give you a quick peek. It smells freaking awesome out here. Like I'm burning oak and I'm burning a little bit of hickory, and it's just amazing, but it smells great. I'm using the dial thermometer today. Usually anything on the lower grate is about 25 degrees lower. So when the dial therm, which says about 275, it means we're cooking at 250. Now on the upper grate, that's just the opposite. So if this says 275, on the upper grade it'd be about 300, but since we're on the lower grade, we've been cooking right around 250, at plus or minus 25 degrees either direction, but that's kind of where we're at. Let's take a peek. All right, guys, so this is the Bad Byron. You can see it's got a really nice color on it. It's darkening up nice. This is the surprise. This is the special ship. I'm enjoying that. It's got a nice firm texture. I can't wait to eat it. That'll be a first for me. I've never eaten special ship before. I've never eaten non-special ship before. This is the AP rub by Killer Hogs. This one has the least amount of color of the bunch. It kind of reminds me, honestly, it kind of reminds me of a Santa Maria style seasoning. I know it's an AP rub, so that probably makes sense. This guy right here is the surprise to the crew. This is the jerk rub. And when I first started with the jerk rub, when I first put it on, it looked a little pale. So, I didn't know what to expect. And the rub itself, it's a slather, so you slather it on, and you're supposed to wait overnight, like leave it in the fridge overnight, and I didn't do that. So if this, you know, keep that in mind, judges, at the end. If that ends up working against them, it's my fault and not theirs, because I didn't read the instructions. I should have. And then this is Cosmo's Q. Let's see if we can get a shot of this. Yeah, this is Cosmo's Q. Now, if I had to call it right at this moment, this one right here would be my favorite. It has nothing to do with what it tastes like. It has to do with how easy it is to work with. This guy came out of the bottle really easily. It applied evenly. It has a really nice color. It's probably been the best looking one throughout. I don't know if that's coming through on camera or not. I can't tell yet, but if it had nothing to do with food, if it was just working with it, if I was ranking these according to that, this would be my favorite so far. And then this is just a little experiment I'm doing. I was thinking about this, that cinnamon roll rub that I got. I thought, I tasted it and it was pretty sweet. But I thought, I wonder what would happen if I added some Killer Hogs and some bad Byron, and then you add that cinnamon roll right across the top. So it's just kind of an experiment. We'll see if it's any good. All right, guys, we're at the 5.5 hour mark, and some of these are about done according to my trusty Thermopen. And normally at this point, we're not really looking, with ribs, I don't really look for temperature, though. If it gets over 200 degrees like this one did, that's a good indication that they're about done. I'm actually just feeling around for tenderness. And so some of these two are done for sure. So I'm gonna take and put them in my side box here. I have this warming oven that's attached to my grill. And the thing about this warming oven, I've used it to grill in, I've used it to hang ribs vertically. It works really, really nice. But it's actually intended to be a warming oven. And what's great about that is it's always about 75 to 100 degrees lower than whatever the main chamber is. So I'm gonna pull these two out for sure. And I'm gonna put them in the warming oven and let them wait there. So the main chamber, like I said earlier, is usually around 275, and this one is, last time I checked it, it was at 200. So that's what I'm gonna do for the remainder of this cook. I'm just gonna wait until, I'm gonna test them every 15 minutes. And when it gets to the point where I feel like the tenderness is right, I'm going to pull them and put them in the side oven, the warming oven, until the end of, actually this one might be ready. That one's getting close. So I'm gonna flip this one because this side, because it's closer to that vent, that lower, the outtake vent is, that is a hot spot because all that air flows right by there. So I'm gonna flip these around and just keep an eye on some of these. And as they're done, I'll put them in the warming oven and then we'll be done. Smells so good. All right, guys, I've tried all these rubs. I gotta tell you, they are all great. They're all salty. That was one thing that is interesting. They all have a lot of salt in them, but I can see why each of them has a following and does well on Amazon. I'll start here. With the Bad Byron butt rub, I actually, little confession, I thought I was gonna have to get up here and confess that I overcooked the rib. I actually did overcook the rib, but it was kind of like, it wasn't overcooked to the point of drying out or anything. I actually had that fall off the bone flavor that a lot of people who aren't in competitions really like. So it was really moist and tender, and there was nothing wrong with the actual rib. The seasoning itself is more, it almost tastes more like a brisket seasoning to me. It's a salt and pepper based rub with very little sweetness, a little kick at the end. And I mean, to me, this tastes more like something I would enjoy on like a chuck roast or something like that. Maybe it's just my opinion. I like sweetness in my rubs, I like sweetness in my ribs. So that's gonna come up again. That's gonna be a theme you're gonna see here. The next one, all right, this ship is special. It's really good. It's actually similar to the Bad Byron. It's got a little more heat and a little more sweetness, that comes in the middle and a little more back end heat on it. It's good, I like it. It's an all-purpose rub similar to this one. This is good, but I think this is I think a better way to categorize this is instead of an all-purpose rub, more like a beginning rub, like a base rub. That's what I'm trying to say. Like you start with this and you add other things to it, either doctor it up or something like that. Like most of what I taste here is salt and garlic and pepper, and it's I think it's salt and garlic. I know it's salt and garlic. Yeah, salt, garlic, spices. Yeah. So maybe it is just salt and garlic. It's a good base layer that you'd start and you build on from there. In fact, we'll get to this in a minute, but that's exactly what I did. This was great. Totally different category. And truth be told, I really enjoyed it. This took me back to my honeymoon. We went to Jamaica, and I got my mouth burnt off with some jerk seasoning, some jerk chicken. And so when the bottle said, you know, a moderate amount, I don't remember exactly how they worded it, but something effective, don't kill yourself. So I didn't. And if I did it again, if I was gonna use this again, which I will, I would do it a little heavier and I would do it a little earlier, and I would really, really enjoy it. I don't consider this, you know, American style barbecue because it's Jamaican style barbecue, but it's really, really good. It's a fun change of pace. And I'm glad it was in the top 5. Where was I? Okay, this guy, Cosmo. This is a beef rub. Obviously it's called cow cover, but what I did like about it is it was a good all around trying to do something rub. Like, let me find my notes. First off, the ribs, the ribs all turned out really good, but I think this one was the best. It was like really good texture, really good, you know, it was benefiting from that. But there was also the flavor. One of the things I noticed immediately was I love chili powder. And so there's chili powder in it, there's salt, pepper, there's good sweetness, there's good heat at the end, and it all kind of works together synergistically. So like this was a starting point, and this, I felt like these were parts of a whole, right? So what I ended up doing was my 6th rack of rib that was in the cooker, you may have noticed, I was just gonna try this this buttery cinnamon roll thing that I talked about at the beginning of the video. And then I thought, you know what? I know this is gonna be too sweet, but what if I added the base level, not this, what if I added this in as like a base salt, garlic, you know, and then threw in this, because I could tell there was gonna be some peppery heat in this. And would that balance out the sweetness here? And ultimately, what that meant was I actually laid down a layer of this, then I put this there, and put this Killer Hogs on top of that. I think if I went back to do it again, I would actually put this down first, because I actually think this is a good base rub, like a base layer rub. I mean, it was good. The ribs were great. Like you could do it on chicken, you could do it on turkey, you could do it on everything. But I think it's just a starting point. This rounds out the heat, and then I put another layer of this over the top. And so it was a very full flavored, predominantly sweet rib that ended up being my favorite. And my son came in right after I was done cutting those up and ate it and just loved it. So for us, in our world, I think of all these, this was my favorite. I think the others were great. And it's great that we have these options. So I'll put links to all this in the description box below. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Check out the shirts if you're interested. Please go check out Lone Star Grills and tell them I sent you. Love you guys. Subscribe so we can do this again. Enjoy this. I like spending time with you. And I'll see you in the next one. This is the special ship. Man, that's a nice rub. It smells really great. I mean,